Hello everyone. My topic for the presentation is observation. Observation is defined as watching of behavioral patterns of people in certain situations to obtain information about the phenomena of interest. It is an important way of collecting information about people because people do not always do what they say they do. Observation is one method for collecting research data. It involves watching a participant and recording relevant behavior for later analysis. Albert Bandura, as you all know, a psychologist who proposed social learning theory, is being credited for first having noted observational learning. In the words of Samuel Smith, observation is a visual method of examining and interpreting the reactions of individuals and groups in laboratory, classroom, or out of school situation. Here we observe the mental processes and behavior of others. Classification of observation is as follows. On the basis of form of observation, we have formal observation and informal observation. Formal observation refers to the precise, highly controlled methods that take place in a laboratory setting. Informal observation is a more casual observation. On the basis of control of observation, we have controlled observation and uncontrolled observation. When observation takes place according to definite prearranged plans, it is termed controlled observation. For example, when children are permitted to enter the lab and the observer observes their activities in a CCTV cam, it is called controlled observation. In uncontrolled observation, there is no attempt to use precision instruments. The major aim of this type of observation is to get a spontaneous picture of life and persons. On the basis of planning of observation, we have planned observation and unplanned observation. Planned observation, there will be pre-planning and preparations, whereas in unplanned observation, it will be more spontaneous. On the basis of direction of observation, we have direct observation and indirect observation. In direct observation, perception is independent from observation. The observer does not access to his or her knowledge from the past experience. Past experience of the observer doesn't come into play, whereas in indirect observation, observer make use of his or her former perception. Then on the basis of information of observation, we have qualitative observation and quantitative observation. In qualitative observation, observation describes a property, that is the quality of an object. In quantitative observation, it is a measured value. This means that the observation will have a number or data associated with it. On the basis of interviewer's observation, we have individual observation and group observation. There are different types of observation, from structured observation to unstructured observation, disguised or undisguised observation, natural or contrived, participant to non-participant observation, personal and mechanical. So, looking at the structured observation. Structured observation is a planned observation. It follows certain patterns, rules and designs. In unstructured observation, it is not systematic and it is an unplanned observation. Disguised observation is when the subjects do not know that they are being observed. It is called a disguised observation. In undisguised observation, the subjects know that they are being observed. It is called undisguised or non-disguised observation. Natural observation, in which the subjects are studied in real life circumstances and environments, they may or may not know that they are being observed. In contrived observation, subjects are studied in controlled settings, research labs for example, and they know that they are being observed. It is conducted in a research lab in an artificial setting. In non-participant observation, it involves observing participants without actively participating in the event. In participant observation, observer becomes the part of the group which he wants to observe. In personal observation, a researcher observes actual behavior as it occurs and does not manipulate the phenomena. Whereas in mechanical, it involves the usage of various types of machines to collect the data, which is then interpreted by the researcher. Then the modes of collecting observational data are laboratory observation, naturalistic observation, then quantitative observation and qualitative observation. Laboratory observation. It is carried out in settings that are set up by the researcher and inside the confines of a research lab. Laboratory observation will be conducted in a research lab. For example, a researcher observing the behavior of children through a one-way window in the researcher's laboratory. Naturalistic observation. It is carried out in the real world. For example, observing the behavior of children in their classroom. In quantitative observation, it is a more structured observation, and it involves the standardization of all observational procedures in order to obtain reliable research data. So quantitative observation will be more structured and it involves standardization of the tools and the observational procedures. Whereas in qualitative observation, it involves observing all relevant phenomena and taking extensive field notes without specifying in advance what is to be observed. So qualitative observation, unlike quantitative observation, is non-structured. 4 main roles a researcher can take during qualitative observation is that one is as a complete participant observer. Complete participant observer means the observer takes on the role of an insider, becoming a member of the group being studied, and spend a great deal of time with the group, and he may not tell the members that they are being studied. Another role the researcher can take is as a participant as observer. In this method, researcher spends extended time with the group as an insider and tells members that they are being studied. Another is observer as participant. Researcher spends limited amount of time observing group members and tell members that they are being studied. So the time they spend with the participants will be limited. In the last method, complete observer. As a complete observer, the researcher will observe the participant as an outsider and does not tell the people that they are being observed. Then features of observation. The various features of observation is that it involves the use of eyes rather than the use of ears and the voice. An experienced worker never believes in hearsay. He only trusts if he has observed that with his own eyes. So the involvement of eyes is very much greater than that of the ears and the voice or any other tools. The researcher is directly observing things through his eyes. Another thing is should be in a very minute, planned and detailed manner. So the value of an observation is only valid if it is done properly in a planned manner. So it is very important to make a very well structured or planned manner. Then should be based on standardized tools of research. An observation should be based on standardized tools of research, which makes an observation exact in its nature of working. Then observation also make use of scientific method, and it is also important to record the activities, record all the events, because we cannot always trust our memory. Memory is very deceptive in nature, and with the passage of time things tend to get out of mind, so it is very important to keep a record of such activities. Then observation should also include a proper analysis and interpretation. Then it is important that observation should include planning, reflecting, survey design, Survey design is the process of creating surveys with the goal of receiving maximum insight from the survey research. Then there should be a proper recording and authenticating to prove its validity or genuinity. The advantages of observation is that personality is better assessed by observation of behavior than by reporting, which may hide facts. The tool does not need any communication medium. It provides direct access to social phenomena under consideration. And observation can have external validity. External validity means applicability beyond the observed situation. So it has a wide range of applicability and use more than one technique of data collection. One technique of data collection means that therefore it can be effectively complement other approaches and thus enhance the quality of evidence available to the researcher. Disadvantages is that it is more time consuming and research intensive. Covert behavior, that is the secret behavior and traits which cannot be expressed by the participants, cannot be observed. The behavior of grown up adult people turns artificial when they become conscious of the observe. Observation may get prejudiced and colored by the subjectivity and feelings of the observer. That is called observer bias. The subjectivity and the prejudice that the observer has will affect the observation. The observer effect. Observer effect means the presence of observer influencing the behavior of the observed is yet another potential weakness of observation. Talking about the educational implication, it permits researchers to study the processes of education in naturalistic settings and provides more detailed and precise evidence than other data sources, provide better models for improving teaching, provides a coherent, well substantiated knowledge base about effective instruction. This method can be used with children of all ages and it is adaptable both to individual and groups. So this is all about the presentation. Thank you for listening.